Well, hello. Is it just you and me, Chris? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Hold on.
How's that?
Yes, that's better.
Good.
Yes?
Yes, it came on mute.
Linda's just joined us.
Good.
You need to unmute yourself, Linda.
Done it again.
Ah, that's better. That's
Double pressed.
excellent. That's only Tim's here and David Darby's disappeared.
Oh. Well, we'll give the lesson then. No, Jenny, where's she disappeared to?
Moment, no.
That's not good enough. Sack her.
Mind you, she's got 20 minutes to go.
Slack. I have to have a word with her. It's no good.
Yes.
I've been going round to her house and shouting through the door because she only lives around the corner from me.
So whereabouts are you?
I'm in Lee Park in Westbury.
Ah, yes.
And Jenny's just round the corner. So when I go for a walk, I go past her house every day. I usually shout, but I didn't today. But normally I shout at her. I'll ring her doorbell and say, "Hello, Jenny."
You could beat her up tomorrow.
I will. But my husband just said, "Is that all right?" Yes, I'm through. I'm through tonight. I had awful trouble first week, but I'm managing tonight.
Do you know why?
Oh,
was it just getting used to something new, or was it your computer, or?
I'm just on my tablet.
Oh, I see.
I find it easier than the laptop.
Okay.
I can work my way around my tablet quite easily, but the laptop confuses me.
Okay.
I've done that, but I wish life would go back to normal. I am so fed up with all this. Yeah, it's awful, isn't it? I don't know why they don't just let those that can carry on and those that can't can have the special care. I think it's but then I'm under 70, so I'm.
Yes, that's right, and it's just the situation where you don't know what's best, do you?
No.
I'm
away from my family are in the New Forest. My niece has just had cancer, so she's on high priority.
Yeah.
So I don't go anywhere near them.
Yeah.
So there's just Paul and I here, but I don't know, getting to the point now where I'm just bored, basically.
Do you get out much?
We are going out tomorrow. It's the first time we've been out together. We've got an MG. We've got a soft top MG. So I'm going to take her out for a good ride tomorrow. I'm going to take a flask of coffee and just go for a boogie around and go out. But we haven't been out together for weeks.
No. It's funny, you get this very strange sense of, I don't know, almost release, and it's as if it's a great adventure just leaving the house.
I don't do the shopping because he's just 70. He gets to do the priority shopping in the morning, which I don't qualify because I'm only 66. So I can't do that. So he does all the shopping. I haven't been in the shop for months.
So where does he go?
Waitrose.
So he goes into Warminster.
He goes to Warminster to Waitrose, then he goes across to Lidl's and gets bits he wants in Lidl's because he likes their crisps. And then he goes at 7:30 on a Friday morning because he's a very early riser anyway, which I'm not. I'm still at 7:30 in the morning. I'm over the game. So he does all the shopping once a week, and he goes every day and gets the paper, and I just go for a walk every day.
Yeah.
And that's about it. But I'm so used to being busy, other things going on. Like I swim 3 times a week for an hour. I can't swim, and it's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
Lack of exercise.
I must admit, I'm walking a lot more than I normally. Oh, it's Varian!
I can't see everybody. I haven't got it on.
Haven't you? There's not many to see. Oh, you swap places with. Hello, Varian. We can't hear you. In the bottom left-hand corner, have you got a little word that says mute? Varian, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Mother?
Can you hear me now? Okay. Varian, in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, have you got a little microphone that says mute? At the moment, we can't hear you.
Okay.
That's the one. We can hear you now.
This is a miracle.
This is amazing, isn't it?
But you know, I am so tired today. I've had awful hay fever that I don't think I'll do I may do some of it. What do I have to do when we get on to the actual
Just follow Tim's instructions.
what?
Just follow Tim's instructions.
Are you thinking of the singing, Varian?
Yes. I've just printed off,
Excellent.
damn it, hiding the creation bit by mistake. I needed the foray.
I think you need them both.
I know, I do. But I can't, the trouble is I can't get the music down on my smartphone. Means I've got to go and do another printout, which I could do actually, because I'm not going to join the first class.
Yep. Oh, it's quite fun just to watch Tim.
Oh,
not,
yeah.
Not because
Well, I could do that while I'm printing everything off, couldn't I?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, dear Jenny sorted it out for me.
Good. Good.
But when he starts, what do I then do?
Follow his instructions.
Yeah, there's no problem.
He'll tell us what to do.
He'll tell us everything. Yes.
Right. Okay.
We just chat until about past. We chat, and then he will unmute us.
Yes.
Sorry, he will mute us,
yes.
so that we can listen to him without interruption.
Yeah.
And that's when. Oh, you've changed position. Oh, hello, Joe. Yeah, and that's when you just follow the instructions, and he'll actually use the screen to show what he's talking about.
And do we all remain up on the top?
Yes.
Oh, I've got a little arrow up there because I can't see Joe.
You can't see Joe?
No. There's a little arrow next to Linda.
Click on that.
What?
Click on that and it'll move the screens along.
Oh, there she is. Hi, Joe.
Ooh.
Can't hear you.
That's
better. Okay.
Yep. You're in. Well done.
I know. But I've got you as a big picture. Is that right?
I've got you as a big picture.
Oh, bad luck.
Yeah.
If you could,
I've got Linda as a big picture. Does it alternate? Does it go round?
It goes to the speaker. You're in speaker view. If you go to the top right-hand corner,
yeah,
it should say speaker view. Now, if you click on that, you can change to gallery view.
Gallery view.
Gallery view is the one you want.
So just swap between them and see which you prefer.
T
I've
for
got
Tim.
gallery view.
Yeah. I was just saying, I'm not sure whether I've got any energy to do the whole evening because I've actually got awful hay fever today and I've had a rather stressful day.
Oh.
But having said that, I had to go to RUH today, but that thankfully has stopped me worrying because I had the results there and then. And it was so quiet. It was unbelievable. And there wasn't any sort of feeling of, didn't have to put a mask on or anything.
Gosh.
Car park was full. So I suppose they're all the National Health workers who are parking there. Oh, bless you.
Is that another hay
Thank
fever
you.
sufferer?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, it was very quiet there. And apparently it is very quiet. Yes, I've got something too. I'm sure it's not good for hay fever. How many people are you getting most nights?
We were 27 or so, weren't we, last week?
Yep.
Yeah.
We haven't quite hit 30 yet.
No.
Well, probably people like me are having a problem.
Did I gather that Martin and Rosie are actually in Cornwall?
Yes, they are.
Yes.
Lucky things.
Well, I don't know, actually. They went down before the lockdown
Yes.
for various reasons. But actually, it's a holiday house. I don't know. I'd want to be at home with all my bits and pieces.
Yes, it's easier to find things to do when you're at home, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But they don't really have that option because Martin's son, or their son, has taken over home. So.
Well, I know, but that was all sort of, that was all things they agreed with. So,
Oh yes.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know when they'll get back.
Who knows?
Who's that?
Who knows?
Izzy? Is that Izzy? Izzy and John, hi.
Can somebody tell me, please, what number the foray we're doing? I know it's Libera Me, but
It's near
is
the
that number
end.
4?
No, it's more than that. I think.
Number 6.
Is it?
Number 6.
Yep, 6.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh.
According to my number 6, it's Dominus Dias.
Sometimes they run in on different properties, don't they?
Well, it says 6 in the title. But
Yeah.
In which case, it might be on number 7, which I haven't got. Oh.
Is Jenny all right? Has she appeared?
We haven't seen her.
Probably helping somebody else.
Possibly. Barbara?
He was very patient, I must say. It took about an hour of me taking photographs, putting them on the WhatsApp, sending them to her. No, but Zoom, do I have to
No, you
No.
don't.
get an app done?
No,
No.
it's the computer.
Can I not do it on my smartphone?
You
You
can.
can.
Yeah.
You can.
But I don't think it'll come through from my
It's not so good on the phone. You get it breaking up.
And you also get a much narrower picture, don't you?
Yes. Well, unless you have to have the phone sideways.
well, I don't know.
The
See,
phone
I've got,
sideways rather than that way, then you get the what they call it,
my phone doesn't go, so I like to go to
landscape.
But if I just go on to a so-called Zoom app, Zoom Cloud, you see, I don't think an app has come down. Anyway, that's not that's something else.
Not a live.
Oh,
Thank you, Liz. I had a lovely
I
walk
just don't know what you
yesterday.
said.
Did you, Joe? I thought of you. You found it all right, and you found somewhere to park.
We went actually just past the golf club at the top there,
Yes, okay.
and not
It's
into the proper
lovely.
not into the proper car park, but on the left-hand side. And then we walked down. It was beautiful, absolutely stunning day.
The views are lovely, aren't they,
Yeah.
from up there? Good.
Where was that?
I escaped out of lockdown yesterday and met my son. He came down from Beaconsfield,
Lovely.
just
Where's-
outside Devizes. If you're going towards London, I suppose you go off,
Yes,
turn left towards Caen, and
yeah,
up there.
lovely.
Oh,
Near the canal or not?
No, up high.
Hi.
Right, right.
Down.
On Roundway down.
Above Roundway down, yes.
Right,
Oh, beyond, yes.
right. Yeah, lovely. It would almost have been too hot today, wouldn't it?
Yes, yes, very lucky.
Yeah.
In
So,
Hoffman
David,
Garden.
how was your trip to Dedaldore, or with the masses?
God, they must have.
I went to Old Harry Rocks between Swanage and Poole and Studland, which was absolutely marvellous. We had the place to ourselves. I hardly saw another person.
Yeah, yeah.
We arrived and I went with my lodger, and we had lunch on the beach, and then we walked along the beach over the cliff towards Studland and came down the other side to Old Harry Rock. It was absolutely beautiful.
It's a wonderful case, that.
And the day before that, I was on Roundway Down.
Really?
And we took a portable barbecue and had it in a remote spot. It was lovely with a dramatic view.
Lovely.
I'm doing so much.
Rosie.
Oh, hi, Rosie.
Hello, Rosie.
Where's Rosie? I haven't got Rosie. I saw Barbara and then she's disappeared.
Roy, hi.
How are you, Rosie?
You'll need to unmute, Rosie.
You're on mute.
Yes, here we are. No, I've got absolutely
Now we
fine.
can hear
We're
you.
good.
Hello, Izzy.
How's Cornwall?
Unmute yourself.
Good. Sorry, what?
How's Cornwall?
Oh, there you are. It's all right. All right.
Cornwall is
Look,
fine.
I'm washing up.
Are you?
That's why I just paid off. And John
Put my
Chores. No, we've had like you have. I'm sure it's very cold wind, but it's only just.
That's
It's
it.
very chilly.
We might have storms on Thursday.
Hi, Tim.
Really?
We do need
Right.
rain. Hello, Tim.
It's going to be hot tomorrow, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, very.
Very hotter than today.
Have you had a good day today?
Have I?
All of you. Has it been sunny today?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Very.
Hot.
Just from
We have-
midday.
No,
From
we haven't
midday.
had it. No.
Have you not?
No.
Bit overcast.
It's overcast and slightly chilly still,
Oh.
but never mind.
There's a bit of a wind here, but
There we go. Right, say hello to your cousin.
Hi, Cuz.
where are you? Are they? Hello, Cuz.
Reappeared. Got
What?
the right specs. Well, I'm not sure I got the right specs.
Well, I've thanks to Jenny, I'm through at last.
Well done.
Yeah. Which is great.
So how many have we got on parade tonight?
16 so far.
Oh, 17.
There's no Jenny yet.
7, 8,
Oh.
9, 10, 11, 12.
There, David
It's
Darby.
all right. Jenny's usually very reliable and prompt.
Oh, hello, Tim. Tim.
Should we push this thing?
Tim.
Oh.
Tim.
Back, so that-
I've got here at last.
You've got here.
Thanks to Jenny. Yes.
It's lovely to see you. How are you?
Well, it's good to see everybody. Really
Good.
good. You
Good.
well, Tim? How are you, Tim? How are you doing?
Very well. I'm very well. I've started gardening this week. Wow.
Ooh.
Gardening is a
New thing.
I was about to say a generous term for what's happening. I don't really have any space to garden, so I'm currently sort of fishing out some old waste bins from out the front and giving them a good clean off and clearing a bit of ground in the back of the lane, which hasn't been used since people sort of dumped a whole load of old crockery there. Anyway, so I'm sort of reclaiming it. I'm reclaiming it, and when the garden centres in Wales reopen, I'm going to go get some compost, and I'm just going to start growing some herbs and possibly some.
Great.
I'm told it's a bit late for potatoes.
Compost is in short supply.
Not too late for anything.
You might have problems.
Just bang them in.
It sounds like the new created world we're going to be singing about.
Springs up at Tim's command.
Oh, so despairing rage, anyway.
Comes later.
When they all wilt after the first week.
That's a thunderstorm on Friday.
Yeah.
Is that? We need it.
I don't know whether we're going to get it actually.
We
I
need
don't
the
think so,
rain.
no.
We won't get it.
We've lost Jenny.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Seen her yet?
7, 8, 9, 10.
I suspect she'll be helping somebody, won't she?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maggie isn't here either.
Oh no. Who's
Maggie's
that?
usually here.
Izzy and John.
And Janet too. Janet usually comes.
Yes. Angus.
Oh.
Hey, is Mary there? I can't see Mary.
No, is Mary there tonight?
No. Can't see
No,
her.
Maggie.
No Maggie, no Mary. They succumb to the heat.
We've had a hot day there.
Yeah.
Extraordinary. Yeah.
So you're all rugged up.
It's going to be even hotter tomorrow.
Jumpers on still, but Cornwall's meant to be, nearer the equator, so it should be much warmer.
Anyway,
Are you having fun in Cornwall?
I mean, yeah. but we're really, what I am particularly enjoying not having to rush to other things. You know, there's no tennis or Pilates or whatever. It just sort of go, but the days go by absolutely amazingly fast. And we've done a lot of stuff, and nothing worthy that we know really noticed, but we've done a lot of little jobs that needed doing.
Well, the local grocer serves wine bottles, which is good news. But couldn't do without vino. Hey ho.
Do you miss all your own things? I mean, you know, when I say your own things, your things at home.
Well, not too badly. I mean, we've got most. I mean, it's a little bit, but we've got most things here.
Yeah, I mean, everything down here is ours. We've lived with it actually down here on and off for 20 years plus. So it's not as if we're living in a strange holiday house or whatever. This is very much surrounded by family things and pictures and goodness knows what. But as far as clothes are concerned, I reckon I didn't bring down a huge amount, and I've worn about 1/3 of what I brought down. Because, you know, well, I didn't bring my dinner jacket. I didn't bring my dinner jacket.
But also,
I'm glad you did that. I'm glad you did that.
We actually tend to live most of the time in our gardening clothes, which every now and again get thrown in the washing machine. But so actually we haven't used, and I've got a whole drawer full of potential summer clothes, but we haven't needed those quite yet.
No.
I just beginning to wonder whether we should have brought the Christmas tree down.
I hope not. I sincerely hope.
Well, I'm not sure it will be.
What?
The garden centres are open. You can buy a new one.
What?
Christmas tree.
Oh, yeah, true.
Well, yeah, just a little one.
Only a tiddly one.
Little branch.
Oh, there's Maggie. There you are, Maggie. Hello.
Hi, Maggie.
Unmute yourself, Maggie. There you are.
Am I muted now?
Yep.
Yes. Can hear you.
Good.
That's very
good.
I'm going to have I can't get out of this, can I, to print the foray off?
Well, you can leave and then come back in again.
I could do that. Does that mean I have to sign everything back in again?
No.
No, you can get out of it if you're in full screen. You just go out of exit full screen, and you can go into whatever other.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah.
If you hang around, we'll put a copy in the post.
That's funny because I was in full screen.
If you come out,
I wouldn't have to get full screen. We've got all the sort of 9 screens on a page.
No, all I've got on here is my Zoom meeting. I can't get to. Don't worry, I'll sort it out.
I'm sure if you go and then come back, pack it all back in again.
I think that's what I'll have to do.
You will have you will have time when Tim's doing the theory,
yeah.
And then you can go and either print it or photo it or something.
Yes, yeah. We'll do that.
If you want to, in fact, I'll start off doing that now. So if you want to, and the other thing, if you don't want us to go on the journey with you, you can just in the top right hand corner, you can just stop your video, which keeps you in the chat, but means that there's no we don't see what's in your video feed. So if you want to keep your printing process private.
Whereabouts is that?
On the top of the screen, right at the top. You've got
on the
mute.
left.
Right.
Recording. Connection is encrypted. I don't know what that is.
Mine's at the bottom, Varian, so yours might be in a different place.
Share screen. Is it share screen? I take that off.
No, it's not that. It's oh, hang on.
Stop video. I found it.
That's it.
Yeah, I found it.
Have you got it?
Yes, it's some left on my screen.
Yeah, it's down there. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna crack on with the the music theory section. Good to see you all. Thanks for coming. I'm just going to, so you know, this week is the last.
You can go off it. I haven't got to tap to get back in.
Can you mute?
Oh yes, sorry, I forgot to mute everyone. If you have any questions, unmute yourself and give me a shout. This is the last week that we're going to spend doing sort of rhythm reading stuff. From next week, we're going to be doing how to do pitches, and then we'll start to put it all together. So if you know that you're very good at reading rhythms, but that pitching and your oral skills are not so good, then next week might be a lovely time to join us with that. But come along and see what sort of level we're working at, and you can get a sense of how useful it is for you. All right. Let's just, excuse me, I'm just gonna get this all set up, and then we'll be good to go. All right. All right. Give me a thumbs up if you can see a blank white screen. That means that you are seeing the right thing. Okay. So over the last few weeks, there we go. We've done our various notes. We've had our tars, which are our crotchets, and the sars. We've had the tartes and the sarses, which are quavers, and then we've had the taffy-tiffies, which are semi-quavers. And then going the other direction, we've had the tar-ars, which and the sar-ars, of course, which are our minims. And then at the top, our tar-ars, which is our semi-brief, and this funny sort of convention where the sar rest can either be 4 or 3 or 2, depending on what time. And we had our dotted notes, which will come in very handy in a moment. Sorry, I'm just getting this bit set up better. There we go. And we've recognised the tate rhythm, and the shorter version of that, the ta, fita, fita, and the ta are the 1, 2, 3. And then last week, oh, and we did a tie as well, just to give us more flexibility. And then last week, we sort of went out of that and started doing a whole different type of rhythmic thing. So I just want to reattack that and just explain this a bit more clearly, because I think I went at it slightly hammer and tongs last week. And I just want to sort of go back and make sure that we're all completely on the same page with this one. So as before, we are, sorry, that's better. There we go. So as you know, we name the time signatures that we're working in, the number of, the amount of rhythms and the amount of time that fits in each bar, in each chunk, after these numbers, down the left-hand side. So if we're in crotchets, then as you know, then we write that as a 4. So 4/4, as we know, just means 4 crotchets. And similarly, 3/4 just means 3 crotchets. And then we looked at 6/8, and we sort of agreed that 6/8 is pretty similar actually to 3/4 in that they contain the same amount of stuff. 3 crotchets is the same as 6 quavers. That's just maths. But there is a crucial difference, that when you have a time signature with an 8 at the bottom, it does not really talk about quavers, although it sort of pretends to. What it means is that we're working 2 dotted crotchets in each bar. So 6/8 means 2 dotted crotchets in each bar. And of course, a dotted crotchet is 1.5 crotchets, 1.5 tars, which is 3 quavers, 3 tates. And then you take 2 of those and you get your 6, and that's why 6/8 means 2 dotted crotchets. The important thing about 6/8 is that it allows us to do totally different sort of rhythmic things from from a conventional 3/4 and 4/4. I'll give you some examples. The terms that we're going to use are simple time, which is anything in 3 or 4/4, and compound time, which is anything in 6/8 or similar things. So simple time is most of the pieces that we've done over the last few weeks. It's the Librame, which we're going to be doing later. The 1, 2, 3, 4 Librame Domine. And compound time is of totally different things. Things like Humpty Dumpty, which is very different from the 4A Requiem for a whole load of different reasons. But if you you can't fit Humpty Dumpty into the same sort of time as you can a song like Frère Jacques. If you sort of clap out Frère Jacques, dormez-vous, dormez-vous, and then you try and fit Humpty Dumpty into that, Humpty Dumpty sat on a, and they don't match. So with Humpty Dumpty, you need the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. And then you're in business. So simple and compound time refer to two very different feelings, very different pulses. Although there's a lot of sort of overlap in the way that we're going to approach them. So things like, on the one hand, we've got our Frère Jacques, and we've got one and the glory of the Lord, and yesterday. And on the other side, we've got Humpty Dumpty and Oh, thou who tellest good tidings to Zion. And at a much slower tempo, it's I heard there was a sacred chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. If you try fitting that into 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, it just doesn't go. So those are the two things that we're going to be dealing with. Let's just work a few examples out just to really get the difference. Let's do this one. A slightly longer example than we've been doing in past weeks. And one thing to note, in the second line, there are quavers, tates grouped in 4. Just imagine that they're 2 groups of 2 joined together. Nothing too complicated. Speak this through once, and then we'll speak it through all together. This one's nice and simple. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. I forgot to give you a click track, sorry. The observant of you will have noticed that that was the Frère Jacques we were talking about. Let's do it all together. 3 and 4. Ta 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 te ta te ta 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 te ta te ta 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 ta. Nice. So that's one tune in simple time. Let's go over to the other side of the room and look at one in compound time. So here's quite a simple compound rhythm. If you don't get it yet, don't worry. If you think you can give it a go, and we'll work it out together. As you go through it, may start to sound familiar. I'll give you 2 in. Ready? 1 and 2. Great. And that, as you may have noticed, is our Humpty Dumpty. Let's say it all together. 1 and 2. Ta te ta te ta te te ta. Ta te ta te ta te te ta. Ta te te ta te te ta te te ta. Ta te te ta te te ta te te ta. Good. So you get that feeling of the quavers. The quavers grouped in 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But you also get the feeling of 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So it's those two levels that characterizes compound time. Let's just compare them side by side. So when we're speaking them through, not all of the tate and the tafetifi is going to work quite so neatly in compound time as it does in simple time, but we'll do our best. So let's look at the second line down. Our ta in simple time is the crotchets, the 1, ta, ta, ta. And our ta in compound time is the dotted crotchet, the main beat, the ta, 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 ta. And then if we go down a level in simple time, we have our tate, which we know. If we go down a level in compound time, we don't split it into 2, but we split it into 3. So instead of having ta, 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 te, ta, it's ta, 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 te, te, ta. Does that make sense? So instead of going ta, te, the equivalent is ta, te, ta, te, ta, te, ta, te. Let's go up to the first row, and the equivalent of a 2-beat note in simple time, we know that's ta, and we'll call it the same thing, but it looks different. Instead of being a regular minim, it's a dotted minim, but we say it exactly the same way. Ta, ta, 2 beats. And then the ones which sort of match up and sort of don't, at the bottom we have unequal rhythms. So our most basic unequal rhythm in simple time is ta, te, ta, te. So ta, 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 te, ta, 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 te. And the equivalent of an unequal rhythm in compound time is ta, te, ta, te, ta, te, ta. It's got much more of a swing to it. So those are a bit similar, but sort of different. They have a similar function. So they're made up of different notes, but they have a similar function and feel within the relevant time signatures. Let's go on and look at some more time signatures comparatively. Let's have a look at this one. This one you know how to do. Do it once by yourselves, and then we'll do it all together. 1, 2, 3. Good. And again, you may have noticed that. It's all in a slightly different format, but it's the same rhythm, and it is the rhythm for the beginning of "And the Glory of the Lord" from the Messiah. Let's say it all together. 1, 2, 3. Sa, ta, 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 te, ta, ta, te, ta, 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 te, ta, te, ta, te, ta, te, ta, ta. Good. So that's familiar. Now let's look at a Messiah example, but for compound time. This one is a bit different and starts with some rest. So if you're not quite sure how to say the rest, just say what you think might go in there, and we'll work it out all together. Give it a go. I'll count you in. 1, 2, and then you start with the bar of rests. 1 and 2. Nice. Let's do it all together, because that one involves some rhythmic combos that we've not come across before. So let's do it all together. I'll count 1, 2, then we'll start with the rests. 1 and 2. Sa, sa, te, ta, te, ta, te, te, ta, te, te, ta, te, se. Sa, sa, te, te, ta, te, ta, te, te, ta. Which is, and thou that tellest good tidings to Zion, 1. Get thee up into the high mountains. So it's a bit funny in the third bar, the sa, sa, te, te, ta, te, ta, te, te, ta, ta. It's a bit funny to say like that, but if you think of 1, to get thee up into the high mountains, then it becomes much simpler. Do it all together to the notation, to the words that we've written underneath. But if you want to have the Bible words in the back of your head, all the better. 1 and 2. Sa sa. Ti ta ti ta ti ti ta ti ti ta ti. Say sa sa ti ti ta ti ta ti ti ta ta. Nice. All right. So I only had time just to do those quick examples, but I hope that's starting to make sense of the different feelings of compound time and simple time, and where they overlap, where there are rhythmic similarities, and where there are real rhythmic differences. But if you can have some examples of compound time to get your ear into it. Other good ones, if you know Queen, We Are the Champions. We are the champions. My ba bum bum ba da da 1 and 2. 1 2 3 1. Ta ta ti ta ti, and then it sort of gets syncopated and it's weird. Or also the Queen one. Find me somebody to love. Find me somebody to love. That one. I'm drawing complete blank on any classical examples, but there must be tons out there. And when I remember them, halfway through the rehearsal, I'm going to jump up and tell you what they are. Good. Another good one is ride a cart horse to Banbury Cross to see a white lady upon a white horse, which has a sort of bum, 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 which we will address at some point. But it's basically fairly simple. Nice. That is theory. I hope that's a slightly sort of more graspable, manageable approach to 6/8 and the mysteries therein. We'll do some pitches and some solfa next week because that'll be fun. Nice. Let's stand up and have a warm up, and then we'll do some foray. Lovely. Cool. I'm just going to stop the share because you don't need it. Bro. Let's move this. Right, on your feet. Take off your shoes. If you'd like. You don't have to. Good. Give your shoulders a nice seeing to. Lovely. Grand. Good. Have a nice stretch up. And stretch all the way up to the side. Good. And let's go up to the side. Keeping, what is really easy, you can see when your arms are going up, to let them drift forward. You've got to work quite hard to keep the arms going straight up and to the top, and then trace an even bigger circle on the way back down. Lovely. And give your hands a shake out. Good. And just shrug your shoulders a bit, and give your shoulders some TLC, and your neck as well, because it's a valuable part of your anatomy. Like all of it, it's all valuable. Good. And your jaw. Good. Good. Just go. Just get that nice and down. Lovely. And have a little bounce up and down on your toes. Good. And come up onto your toes, and feel, in fact, when you come up onto your toes, feel, it's almost like you're zipping yourself up as you go sort of, and then when you come down, try and leave your head in the same place. So you pick up height on the way up, and then you keep the height when you come down. Let's go again. Zip up onto your toes, and back down, and maintain the height. Lovely. Lovely. Where's your balance? Is your balance on your heels or on your toes or on the outsides of your feet? Just find a nice place to put your weight over your feet so everything's nicely balanced. Make sure your knees aren't locked. Give your hips a bit of a wiggle. Good. Make sure your bum's not sticking out. It's very easy when we're sitting on chairs for the just to sort of slump and this to arch too much. So if the hips come a little bit forward, that can often just help reset everything. Good. Good. Just take 10 seconds of your own time. Just feeling, getting a sense of how your body is balanced and how everything sort of stacks up on top of each other, and how everything is going upwards and not being dragged down. Lovely. Good. Good. And have a yawn. Oh. And don't let the yawn drag you down. Whatever verticality you found, keep that. Oh, lovely. This doesn't sound like good. Have another one, a longer, more singery one. Oh, good. And a third, even higher and even singerier. Oh, good. Make sure you're not opening your mouth too much. You can, we did this a couple of times, but if you put your hands on your jaw there and open really wide, you can feel the sort of the jawbones pop out. Not the jawbones, the tendons and muscles around the jaw. If they're popping out, you're probably holding your mouth too wide. So, it's too much, but it's probably not enough. Somewhere in between. Like your jaw is just sort of, it's like idiot face, if any of you are aware of idiot face. Just looking sort of Tim, nice but dim. It's very, very loose, very relaxed, very down. And have a yawn through that face. Oh, good. It's a nice thing about doing it from home. No one can see you, particularly if you turn off your video. Good. Now I go through the same space. And again. Good. Let's have 7. Good. And have another one with 7. 7 of those sort of loops in them. Good. Good. I had a thought of the next thing I was going to do, and it's completely gone from my head. What was it? Good. Go, ya, 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 ya. Ya, 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 ya. Let's go to there. Ya, 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 ya. Ya, 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 ya. Make sure the breath in has a sigh in it. Ya, 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 ya. And again. Ya, 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 ya. This is all really gentle stuff. Keep it open down here. Let's go to the ya, 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 ya. Ya, 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 ya. And to the ya, 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 ya. Ya, 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 ya. And to the ya, 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 ya. Ya, 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 ya. And to the ya, 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 ya. Ya, 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 ya. Good. Find that sort of really neutral vowel that you do for a sigh out, for a or for a yawn. That's sort of go. Let's go the other way. And let's go from neutral to R on the way down. So good. So make sure the vowels are related to that sort of really neutral space. Let's go up to that now. That's ooh. Give me an owl hoot. Ooh. So that's our ooh space. Go ooh, 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 ooh. Nice. Let's go finally up to there. Back to our neutral. This has the most distance to travel. Your tongue is the only thing that needs to get involved with the to the E. With me. And again. Lovely. Nice. I have not picked a piece to sing along with, so let's do the rest of our warm-up by singing along with the soloist for the Liberame, because it's actually it's like a lot of tunes that we've been doing. It's a very good warm-up tune. It sort of explores the sort of bottom and middle, and then slowly takes you up to the top. Lovely. Where's it gone? Nice. All right. There's a few recordings that we can sing along with. All of them very good. Some of them really quite idiosyncratic, I think is the polite word. But for starters, let's have that's the coronation anthems. No one asked for that. Let's sing along with one we did, the same CD that we did, the Cantique de Jean Racine, last week before, which is the orchestra and choir of the National Paris Orchestra, Orchestre de Paris, and the Chœur National de Paris. I can't remember who their baritone soloist is, but he's very good. All right, I'm just going to share the sound, and then we'll be off. Let me just check the balance. Share. Lovely. Good. Okay. This might be a little loud in your speakers, in which case just turn it down at your end until it's the right volume for you to hear when you're singing. Here we go. Great, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Lovely, lovely things. It's a good recording. Baritone is extra fruity. He's doing some things very well. So let's turn back to the beginning, and I want to, because you all sing the tune yourselves, but I'd like to do it again where he sings it, because the baritone is doing some things really, really well. Number one things, his words are very clear, but he's doing something very technically good to get there, which is that he's singing the consonants quite long and through a lot of through all the same space that he does the vowels in. So that space that we found when we go that's the same space that's behind the. You can even you can almost do a whole crotchet of L before it'll be too much. Can you do a minute? Anyway, you can do a lot of L. Same with the M. The M has the space inside. When it goes high, don't think high, think down. Think down. Almost like you're sort of coming over the note and looking down at it from above. And then especially in the next bit, get above the note and then look down at it. Good. Let's just do the tune. In fact, there's one more thing. He's really good at the sort of the small consonants, the ones that are easy to get lost, like in bar. I'm going to use bar numbers just for simplicity. If you don't have them, sorry. In bar 21, 20, 19, 18, and bar 18, quando cieli movendi sunt, he does all the N's. Quando cieli move, the V, space behind it, movendi, the N in movendi, quando movendi sunt, and he does et terra, double T, et terra, good. So let's just do that tune again and see if we can get all the stuff that he does really well. Long consonants, lots of space behind them, look down on the high notes, go up gently to them, and do the small consonants, the N's, the quando cieli movendi sunt. Sunt, I should say. Nice. Really enjoy making this sound. Should be a pleasurable sound to make. From the beginning. which he does. I'm just going to pause it there and then we'll go on. And bar in that high note in bar 27. He does a closed E, so not dum veneris, but dum veneris, like e by gum, or a German sort of dear E. And it makes those high notes just a little nicer to sing. You don't have to go and just chuck it all out there. You sort of go and you sort of, it helps you come over the top of it. Nice. Let's just go back a little bit and do the sing along with him for the Quando cieli movendi sunt. Quando cieli movendi sunt. Good. Oh, and make sure the movendi sunt is an owl, hooty, the world's loudest owl. Movendi sunt a terra. It's sunt, but sunt. Nice. Quando cieli. I think it's about here. Quando cieli movendi sunt, quando cieli movendi sunt, et terra umbilis udicare secundum Going on. Good. Just take a pause there. Take a pause. A couple of things about that first choral entry. It has to totally contrast with the sound world that the baritone sets up. He's singing "Deliver me, O Lord, from the day of judgment, when the heavens and the earth shall be moved, shall move." It's a bit like in the Messiah, the bass solo. And I will shake the heavens and the earth. It's the same idea, but a bit more sort of. So the bass is sort of going out there and pleading, and then you have to do a sort of tremens factus sum ergo. I am made to tremble. Dum discussio venerit atque ventura seculi. I'm made to tremble, I think, until judgment be upon us and the coming wrath. I think is the sense. So you're pleading, and then it's almost like you suddenly have an image of why you're pleading. Tremens. See if you can get a little of the trembling feeling into the voice, almost totally off the voice. Lots of air through it. Don't try and sort of make a quiet sound by holding back the air. Put the air through the sound. It can be breathy at this point. That's okay. A bit of trembliness, a bit of breathiness is fine, but keep the breath flow. And lots of tremens factus sum. Use the consonants to express the terror and fear that the words are describing. talked about this idea in the past, but where you have a accidental, that's you moving the music around. So basses in bar 43, 44, 45. The F sharp moves us on. Same altos in bar 43. The E flat dropping down has a very particular quality which you can lean into. Good. And when you get the discursio, that's another ooh, hooty owl ooh. Dum discursio. Good. Just practice going eoi, eoi, dioi, dioi, discursio. Good. It's very easy for the sk to get in the way, but just focus on going from eoi, discursio. Nice. Good. Let's do the tremens. There's quite a lot I've given you there, but convey a sense of the words through the sound that you make. Keep lots of air going through. Use the accidentals to move the music around the place. And when you get to the discursio, lots of owly hootiness in the sound. Lovely. And then once you've done all of that, we'll just carry on into the next section. If you have a spare ear, listen out for what the horns are doing in this bit. It's great. It's ba 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 ba. Really cool, violent, syncopated stuff. Good. Let's look at the forte section, the which is all. It's the same in the Mozart Requiem. It's that day, the day of judgment. Where with calamitatis et miseriae, with calamity and misery, that great day, the dies mania, with exceeding bitterness, et amara valde, you can really get into that. Requiem aeternam, grant them rest, O Lord, and light perpetual shine upon them. Requiem aeternam, dona eis Domine, et lux perpetua lucet eis. Good. So you've gone from the sort of, it keeps going back from one thing to another. First you sort of recoiled in terror, and now you're going back and describing the day of judgment, and that's what the horns are doing. It's the trumpet shall sound stuff. Good. The important thing when we get to the forte bit, it's really easy to go sort of but to front of the notes. What's harder is to go up dies illa, dies illa. Start the note. You can punch the front, but keep the punch going all the way through the note. Don't stop the interest. Don't stop the phrase because you've got a long note. That's the trap. There's a lot of long notes. Every time you say dies, or in bar 66, et, and, real trap. Et amara, amara vada. Sing through. Phrase, 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 phrase. At bar 70, you've got 4 bars of piano. Make sure they are real piano. Requiem aeternam. There's another trap, long notes, keep them phrased. Requiem aeternam. Then you're allowed to crescendo. And then he immediately takes you back. There's lots of hairpins all over that section. Keep coming back exactly where it's marked. The choir are doing it all. Follow with them. Go with them. Good. Let's do this loud section again. And those are the 2 things. Paint the words, paint the picture. Don't just sing Latin-y vowels. When the notes are long, go through them and be really precise about the dynamics, about the piano for as long as it says. Alrighty. Might take a couple of goes to find the point. I think it's about here. That was a bit sudden. All right, here we go. section one more time. There's a couple more things actually. Altos and basses, right at the end where you've got the you've got a little hairpin, the but what the choir just before that in the they're not. It's not legato. It's I'm going to do it up an octave because I can't sing down there. It's ba 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 ba. There's a little attack on each note. Ba ba ba. A bit more sort of yeah, slightly more sort of accented, pinged, attacked. Good. Good. I want you to keep all that stuff that you're putting into the loud bit, and I want to go back and do it one more time and get a sense of what I think will help with the length of phrases is looking at which words are, how the words are set. Look at, the bars are quite long. It's 1, 2, there's a whole bar. And he's basically, for his sets, sometimes a word per bar. So, tears takes a whole bar. These are long words. Tears, and then calamitatis, it's a whole 2 bars. It's It's a long word, and Fori just stretches it right out. So let's just do the loud bit again and have a real sense of what each word means as you go by, or at least where each word sort of starts and stops, which sounds like a really basic thing. But it's very easy in bar 58 just to go sort of calamitatis, sort of 5 events, rather than calamitatis, and know that it's a sort of long thing. All right. And then he repeats the pattern. Dies, they're all bars, except for requiem, 2 bars, aeternam, 2 bars. So look out where he's doing word per bar and word per 2 bars. That will help. All right. And put lots of welly into the loud section. It's fun to sing. Whack it out. Brilliant. Oh, it's such a good piece. Oh, hang on, I've lost it. Good. We've just got where the tutti choir sings the tune. The thing here, all the stuff that we did at the beginning with the singing through the vowels and putting space behind the vowels and coming over the top of the notes, it's doubly important here because everyone's piano, and that makes it harder. So you've got to do sort of and then suddenly you've got a little crescendo. Challenge yourself to see how quietly you can sing in the choir unison. until he says crescendo, and then just let rip. Good. And there's 2 points at the end of that tune where it's really easy for the sound to sort of fall off, to come off the phrase. And it's bar 116. It's easy to go, and you sort of up there, and then that's great. But you've got to go, and then Judica is the other trap. Judica de seculum, Judica de seculum. It's tied notes somehow that really stop the phrasing. I don't know why, it does. So those are the 2 things in that section. Watch out for where the phrasing, for places where it's easy to stop phrasing, singing lines, and keep the whole thing piano until you're specifically told not to. All right, that's quite a lot of detail we've done on all of that. I'd like to try it with a couple of other recordings, just for variety. Let's go back to the beginning and see how much of what we've talked about, contrasting all the different sections with the tremen, the sort of trembling of tremens, and or the attack and the length of the dies irae, the forte section, and then the smoothness and piano of the unison tune at the end. See how much you can keep in. Let's have, as a real contrast, and because it's great, let's listen to Brunterval sing it with the Orchestra dell'Accademia Nazionale di Santa Cecilia, which is a sort of festival Italian orchestra. The choir is Italian too. The whole sound is very different. It's a lot more sort of, they make it sound a bit like the Verdi Requiem. And Brunterval is just sounding magnificent. So we'll go back to the beginning and we'll sing it with them and keep as much as you can in mind. All right, here we go.
Liberame, Domine, de morte eterna. In tie illa tremenda, in quando cieli movendi sunt, quando cieli movendi sunt et perna, cum veneris iudicare seculum
It's a great recording, isn't it? Very un-4A-ish, but kind of brilliant. I'm not going to play you all of it because it honestly takes twice as long as every other recording. But there's a quite spectacular recording by Sergiu Celibidache, who, if you don't know him, is a completely bonkers conductor. I think he was sort of active in the 80s and 90s, and his thing is taking huge amounts of rehearsal time and doing everything very slowly. Let's listen to how slowly he starts it. Sing along if you're able. It's quite incredible. It's a hell of a choice. I mean, he's sort of convincing, and the playing's it's amazing. They sort of can keep down, not keep up with him, but keep down with him. But anyway, worth listening to the whole recording if you've got a spare couple of days. Let's finish with some Haydn to to get our pulse rates back to normal. Good. There's lots of good recordings of this. Let's go with, there's a great one with Simon Rattle and Philip Langridge singing the tenor part. So it's the second chorus from the Creation. That's the Messiah. That's not going to help at all. Now vanish before the holy beams, and then you come in. Despairing, cursing rage, despairing, cursing rage. Ace. Let me just find it. There we go. All right. Well, we can have a couple of goes. We've got time. Nice. All right. Sing along. Here we go.
The vanish before the holy beams. The gloomy dismal shades of dark, the first of days appears, the first of days appears. Disorder yields to order, fair the place. Disorder yields to order, fair the place. To order, fair the place. Affrighted flee hell's spirit black in thrones. Down they sink in the deep of abyss to endless night. Down they sink in the deep of abyss to endless night. To endless night, to endless affrighted flee her spirit black and thrones. Down they sink in the deep of abyss to endless brilliant. Oh, Haydn's so human. It's just wonderful. All right, I think yeah, that's it for me. Thanks for coming along. I hope you enjoyed that real contrast in pieces. Yeah, they're just magnificent in very different ways. So thanks for coming along. As always, if you have suggestions, send them my way. In fact, I've unmuted you all, so you can all chat away now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
Bye now.
Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good week.
Hi there, Jenny.
Thank you, Tim.
Joined us.
I don't know, Tim there.
Apologies, got it tied up with a birthday online.
Oh,
Whoa.
thanks, Jenny, for your WhatsApp.
There's over 20.
Oh, very good. I'm glad you got on, sorted.
Yes, I didn't realise I could go back to your email.
Yeah.
Great, thanks, Jenny.
You're welcome, Varian.
I'll see you, Joe, this week. I'll give you a ring. Okay?
She hasn't heard you.
She hasn't got her thing on, has she?
Joe's muted for some reason.
Turn it on. Joe.
Okay, Varian. Yeah, and we've got a committee on Tuesday, on Thursday afternoon.
Oh, I say a cup of tea.
Yeah.
What's happening on Thursday afternoon?
You're having a cup of tea.
Committee, 2:30. Thanks,
right.
Tim, very much
I'll
indeed.
be in
Bye-bye,
touch.
everybody.
Bye.
Have a good
Bye.
week. Thank you, Tim.
Bye,
Thanks,
Tim.
Tim. Thanks, Tim.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Bye,
Tim.
everybody.
Good.
Bye.
Have a good week,
Bye.
Tim.
Thank you.
Do some gardening.
Will do. My
Not
little,
quite, it's bin clearing.
the little house, the house gnome has just brought me a glass of wine.
Oh,
Oh, well.
I don't know if you can see, but it's chilled from the fridge. So
Lovely.
Lovely.
Ooh.
Enjoy.
Deserve it.
So I
delicious.
don't think I've ever had a drink so soon after finishing rehearsal.
You obviously
new
look
record.
desperate.
Really enjoyable. Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Always
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. I'm going to go
Bye.
now.
I'm gonna send this on.
Maggie, Maggie,
Yes.
really sad to hear Nick's news.
I know. I'm sad and glad, really.
Well, glad for him.
Yes. But sad
Sorry,
for
Tim.
us.
This is somebody we know from the Harry Ensemble.
Another
What's happened
choir.
with Nick?
Yes, he's going to Kent State University in Ohio. He's got 1 out of 25 applicants accepted to do a master's in choral conducting.
Fabulous. Well done, Nick.
Absolutely fantastic news.
Yeah.
But we shall miss him badly.
Oh, indeed. But brilliant for him. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And he's really cheeky now. And I said to, when we were talking, we were on talking the other day online, and he was really cheeking back. And I said, where was that nice young man that we first interviewed? That really shy little man is now full of himself, but in a nice way. In a nice way.
Lovely. Give him my
Yes.
congratulations.
We will.
Please.
That's really
Thank you.
good, yeah. That's really good. Anyway, I'm away now with the fairies, and I'll see you next week.
Okay.
Bye,
yes,
Bye-bye.
yeah.
Take
Bye.
care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Talk soon, Liz.
Talk soon, Jenny. Yes.
Committee.
Up to you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night. No.